Hey everyone, it's Colleen with Made for Mermaids. Welcome to day 2 of our Loren Sew-a-long. Today I'm going to give you a quick rundown of my supplies and go over the pattern pieces. I'm really excited about the kit from Serge Fabric Shop that I ordered. I'm going to use the nylon spandex, which was the first fabric, for the bottoms and for the straps. And then I'll use the galloon lace for the cups. And then this black swim lining for the lining for the cups. Next I have Pico elastic. You can see it's got the little loops, the little sort of decorative edge there. And then I just have some braided knit elastic to use for the waist. Once you have all of your fabric and supplies collected, we can go ahead and start cutting out our fabric and our elastic. I'm going to cut 2 of the Pico elastics. These will be for the legs. For the waist elastic, I'm going to cut 1 piece of the braided knit elastic, and I will cut that on the fold. You could also use clear elastic if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be the knit elastic. I'm doing the cheeky version, so if you're doing the thong version, your pieces will look slightly different. We're going to cut our bottom pieces both on the fold. You can see I dropped the ball here when I was printing, and I didn't print layers, so I have all of the colors on my paper pattern pieces. One of these days I will hopefully get a projector set up, but our ceilings, I don't know, it's a struggle. Do make sure that you cut your piece on the fold, and then you can go ahead and set that piece to the side. I'm going to use this little scrap piece just to cut out my liner. I'm really trying to be conservative to make sure that I have enough fabric for my straps. They are a little bit of a fabric hog just because of their length, so I'm trying to be a little bit finicky with my fabric. Next, we'll cut out our bottom front piece. Again, this will be cut on the fold. Make sure that any notches that are on your pattern pieces are cut away from the fabric. When you go to cut your straps out, just be aware that there are 2 different pattern pieces depending on what size you're cutting out, so just double check the labels on that. Make sure that you're cutting the right strap piece. I ended up a tiny bit short for my straps, so because I'm not trying to do anything fancy with my ties, I'm just going to shorten them just a little bit. The straps are fairly long, they're a generous length, so if you find yourself a tiny bit short, it's not too big of a deal. I think I ended up maybe an inch short, so I was okay with that. You also have the option of sewing 2 pieces together to make 1 strap, and that's totally fine too. I didn't want to risk having the stretch go the opposite direction because there's not a whole lot of support given the nature of the Loren pattern, and I didn't want to sacrifice my poor straps. So they're going to be putting in some work, so I wanted to give them the best the best way forward for that. After you've cut out your straps, you can go ahead and get your cut pieces ready. Now, depending on what options you're sewing up and if you need a small bust adjustment or a full bust adjustment, your pieces may be a little bit different. But either way, you will have 2 side cups in your main fabric, 2 center cups in your main fabric, and then 2 side cups in your lining fabric and 2 center cups in your lining fabric. So I know it's a little bit deceiving because it says lined and then unlined, but because we have to sandwich those straps and because we're using predominantly lace for the unlined versions, it's just lined a little bit differently. So it's not lined in the sense that your seams are enclosed when you do the unlined version. So hopefully it'll make a little bit of sense when you see it sewn up and when you look through the tutorial. For the cut pieces, if you are using lace, make sure that you are paying attention to the text on the pattern pieces. Where it says place lace edge here, it really means place lace edge here. So you'll butt that edge right up to the end of the lace. You don't want to leave any overhang. Those scallops will be preserved. You'll still have that lace edge. So don't worry about that. Just make sure that you butt that edge right up to the edge of the lace. Just another quick reminder that for all of the notches on the pattern pieces, you want to cut those away from the fabric, not into your fabric pieces. The last thing I need to cut out is my lining pieces, and I'm going to cut these mirror images out of my swim lining. So there will be 4 pieces total, 2 side cut pieces and 2 center cut pieces. Once you've gotten your lining pieces cut out, you are all set for day 2. We will see you back tomorrow for day 3. We'll go ahead and start assembling our pieces, and we're going to start with our straps. So we will see you then.